Hey guys, John here again. This is going to be my part 4 of a response to Metal Mickey. If you don't know who that is, there's a link below. Check out his channel. Good friend of mine. It's a response to his Then and Now albums, 1986 to 2000. This is obviously part 4, and I thought, you know, he did it part 1 from 86 to 2000, and I'm on part 4 and I'm only up to 1995. So part 4 has got some great albums in it, like all the others anyway, but the ones that influence, well, the ones that I love or went out and actually bought when they came out were, well, that one I had to wait a bit longer, but were these, and I still consider these great albums, but I will choose out of this one which is the one that I think I would pick out of all of them and go, right, that's going in my car first, or van, or whatever. In my case it's my van. So we'll start off with Bon Jovi's These Days. Obviously I've been into Bon Jovi since when did I actually started buying their stuff in the late 80s, early 90s. I haven't put any of their albums on my list because I don't know, I was set from Keep the Faith, that was it. I love all the earlier albums, but I still prefer some of the other stuff that I put on instead. But so this one is pretty good to me. It is one that I've listened to a hell of a lot in that time. It's not one that I really listen to now. So that's one that I did listen to back in 1995 a huge amount, and yeah, quite depressed at the time, so, which is the story of my life really. Where am I going to stick this? There. Nope, there I do. One that I did go out and buy when it came out in 1995, this is October 1995 by the way, is Ozzy Osbourne's Osmosis. I listened to this a huge amount, and I loved it to bits. This is the one with the extra tracks on. You know, I've always loved the song See You on the Other Side. I don't really listen to it as much now, this album, at all. I Just Want You is amazing. Old LA Tonight is an awesome song, but yeah, I don't really listen to this album anymore. There's just better Ozzy albums out there to pull out the pile and go, yeah, I'm putting that on instead. But yeah, still great album, but I don't listen to this one, so I can't say I listen to that now. So another one that I don't, well, I do actually now. I didn't for a time, I stopped listening to it, but I loved it when I heard the song Forever Failure. Any Paradise Lost fans out there will know. I don't get many people say about Paradise Lost. I don't know why. If you do have Paradise Lost in your collection and you like them, please let me know in the comment below, and if you've done a video or something about their stuff. It just seems to be, I've only ever, no, I don't think anybody's really commented on this, saying what they thought of it, or even if they've listened to the new album. But I love it. It's gone back to their roots, but this was awesome album. The first album I bought of theirs, Draconian Times, and this is the Legacy Edition, the newer one that's just come out in well, not just come out, but was released in 2011. it's got DVD as well. I love this album to bits. It's amazing. And that song Forever Failure, just, I was at the lowest point in the mid-90s, and I was listening to that, and okay, some people will say, well, wouldn't that have tipped you over the edge? No, not at all. But yeah, amazing album. People must go out and listen to that. It's lighter than the album before, which is I forgot the bloody name now, but I've got it sit in the other room. Icon, I think it was. Yeah, it is, I think. But yeah, amazing. Check them out. But I still love that today. But I wouldn't pick it over the next two albums. And people will say, why? Actually, yeah. The one that I do pick a lot, and I will listen to a hell of a lot, and I loved back then in '95 and played a huge amount, was Enough's Enough's Tweaked. This is grungy album compared to anything they did before, and even anything they did after. Listen to the song Mr. Jones on there, Life is Strange, and I love it, it's funny, that song. My Heroine, It's Too Late is amazing. Stoned, Bullet from a Gun is amazing. Mr. Jones is my favourite though. But yeah, cool album for the time. So, and Donny V was probably smacked out on all sorts. So yeah, that explains the cover quite a bit. And the videos, he was a bit wasted. Right, the last one from 1995 that I still love today, and people don't really like this album much, huge amount. Well, compared to their first two albums, it's not as good. But to be quite honest, I love it, and it is Skid Row's Subhuman Race. I've actually got this about 3 times. This is my only digipack. The other ones are in dual case, and I always had an issue with the sound quality of this when it came out, and it never sounded very good in my car compared to other albums, but I'm not fussed about that so much now. I just whack the volume up a bit louder. But yeah, My Enemy, I love that. Fire Sign, Beat Yourself Blind. Eileen is probably my favourite song on there. Subhuman Race, Frozen, and Into Another is amazing. Breaking Down, I love. What's that? I forgot what it is. Is that something? Face Against My Soul? I can't remember. But yeah, love it. Great album. And that's one I would choose with the Enough's Enough Tweaked as my favourite albums of 1995 that I would love still today. So that's 1995 over. No, it's not. Sorry. I've still got these two. These are two that I didn't get in 1995, but they are really great albums. And one is Warrant's Ultraphobic. This is a bit like the album that came before, but no, this one came, I think this one came before, or no, just this one came after Dog Eat Dog, didn't it? So this was getting slightly a bit heavier, and then they went all completely experimental on the album after this. So yeah, that's and I love the song Stronger Now, High, Chameleon, Some of One, Family Picnic followed, Undertow, great songs on there. and hard to get hold of, this album, and expensive. That's why it took me so long to get it. The other album that came out that time was by one of my favourite vocalists when I first started in rock, or was my favourite vocalist, and Joey Tempest. A Place to Call Home. This is completely different to what you'd expect. So if you've never heard this, don't go out and buy it on CD. Even though I love it to bits. I love the song For My Country. But check it out on YouTube first before you buy it, because it's not anything like you would expect from Joey Tempest. So it's completely different. It's just an easy listening album. So and that's it for 1995. Let's do 1996, if I can find where I put the stuff. Oh my god, don't tell me I've is it this? Let's just double check. Yep, 1996. Right. Okie dokie, here we go. The two that I bought when they came out were Def Leppard Slang, and this one's my original, the 2 CD, the live acoustic stuff. I've got the remastered, the new one. I've got some standard ones, but this was I actually loved this album in '95. I played it so much, and yeah, I really did get into it. Now there's a few songs I don't really want to listen to, but when Blood Runs Cold, I can listen. Blood Runs Cold, I can listen to all the time. That is just amazing. What else? All I Want Is Everything. Breathe a Sigh, and Work It Out's alright. Turn to Dust is alright, but Truth is probably better. Slang is just one I avoid. So yeah, I would still pick that up today. That is one of my favourite 96 albums. And along with this is weird and strange compared to their original earlier stuff. It's Warrant's Belly to Belly, Warrant 96, Belly to Belly, same band, Warrant, Volume 1, they never did a Volume 2. And this is the last album to have Janie Lane on, I think. I'm sure, yeah. And then, but I actually enjoy this. It's completely different, but I do recommend people listen to track. Is it 1? Track 1, In the End. track 2, Feels Good. I think it was track 6, was it Falling Down? I can't remember if it's that one. But there's some, yeah, there's a few quite experimental songs on there. So, no way in the vein of the first 3 albums, so, or even the 4th. But yeah, I still listen to that today. That's one of my pickups for that year. And the other one, which I never got back then, but is a 95 album that I love. Sorry, 96. Is this 90? Yeah, 96. Why have I picked this up? This says 95 and 96. I've read 96. I know why, because it was printed in Japan in 96. But the album came out in 95. I'm going to leave this off. But it's so confusing because it's actually Tormented by Marcy Free, which used to be Mark Free, from Signal, King Cobra, Unruly Child. But yeah, it says 95 there for free for all music. And then the printed in Japan 96. I've got another copy, but it's the German one. I have to check. So I'm not going to put that in now. It's an amazing album, but I'm not going to put it in. So that is it for my 96. Okay, keep saying 95. That's for all my 96. Only those two. I'm going to have time to do 97, ain't I? Right, here we go. 1997. Let's pull out the albums that I bought back then. And that one. Right. Start off with my favourite vocalist of all time, and I was so happy that this came out, and it is David Coverdale and Whitesnake, Restless Heart. This was originally supposed to be a solo album, but the record company apparently wanted to have the Whitesnake name on there as well. So that's why, if you've always wondered why it's got David Coverdale and Whitesnake, that's why it is. And the only person in there that was in Whitesnake in the band before was Adrian Vandenberg. So it's a bit of a weird one. So obviously you got Denny Carmassi, who was in Heart, and Guy Pratt, who I don't know who he is, Brett Tuggle on keyboards. But yeah, other than that, there's only Adrian Vandenberg and David Coverdale from the previous Whitesnake. So, but I still love this album, and I pick this up every day I can when I want to listen to it. It is my go-to 1997 album, and always loved Don't Fade Away, Restless Heart, Too Many Tears, All in the Name of, You're So Fine. Yeah, love it, love this to bits, and yeah, that's one of my go-tos still. Loved it then, love it now. Another one that I've only just rediscovered in the past 6 months, because I haven't had the CD for a very long time. My original copy I wore out so much, I listened to it so much, and that's by, you guessed it, Paradise Lost. This was an album I loved to bits. I played this so much that you know, I didn't understand why there was people out there that didn't really like this. It is lots lighter than their older stuff, but I actually still loved it. And yeah, it's this was the 2017 reissue, 30th anniversary, and yeah, it's 1 second, which I know is sort of, I loved it, but people whinge about it. Sage's Words is another one that's similar to 1 second. I Love Mercy, Lydia, Another Day, This Cold Life, Disappear, Blood of Another, I can't remember how Sane goes, but yeah, I still would pick this up now anytime to listen to it. It's amazing, one of my favourites. But in the 2000s I completely went off Paradise Lost, and then in the last year I've started getting their stuff again. Oh, another album I bought back then, and I played this so much, and I'm not one for very good for remembering lyrics, but I'm sure I can remember the lyrics of this so much. Megadeth's Cryptic Writings, and Metal Mickey, you'll recognise this because obviously this is a different cover to the original cover. I think it is. Yeah, it wasn't black. I'm sure it was different to this. But I recommended this to you, and people had said, "Oh, it's not that great" and stuff, and you listened to it and loved it. And yes, back in 1997, I love this as well. And yeah, I've gone off of it slightly. I wouldn't pick this up as much as I would. Okie dokie. It's just the ghost. I gave the ghost some food with a fork, and they've just tipped it over after finishing eating it. Right, yeah. I usually would pick up a different Megadeth album to this, but for a 1997 album, this was awesome, and yeah, I loved it. And I was so looking forward to, when I read that this was coming out, I was so looking forward to hearing what it was. Even I remember reading the thing and it said, "Oh, the band's going to call the new album Cryptic Writings," and I was like, wow, that sounds cool. So awesome. And the other album that I was very surprised at, and I loved it back then, I went off of it about a year later, and I didn't listen to it again until about a year ago, and I actually did really hate it. And then I listened to it about a year ago, and I was like, this is bloody awesome. This is what I remember from '97, how awesome this was. A couple of tracks on it are a bit shit. One of them's called Fetus, the other one's called Little Death. And if you haven't worked it out yet, it is Wasp. And I'm going to say KFD, just so people don't get offended, but it's Kill Fuck. Oh no, I've just said that word. Kill F Die. Yeah, you get it. Kill Frickin' Die. 1997. This is the 2006 reissue, actually. Still sealed up. Look. My original 1997 one, digipack, is in the other room, so it's in the Wasp Museum. So my Wasp Museum. I'm thinking of doing a. Wouldn't that be amazing to do a hard rock and metal museum? Buy up some little place and just put music everywhere and whatever. That would be cool. I would visit my own shop. Right. And the other 1997 album that I didn't get until many years later because it was so bloomin' expensive, and it's by a guitarist that I love, and he's an awesome singer as well. And I love this album all the way through, and I pick this up every day and think to myself, you know, I've got to have this on. And to be quite honest, this is a Japanese one, and I just realised that my Obi strip I haven't put it back, and it's in the other rooms. I found it, and it is John Sykes' Loveland. It's a very light album, soft rock, and it's just one for, you know what I mean? Yeah, impress the ladies. But yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. And my favourite song on there is I'll Be Waiting, and that is just absolutely awesome. One of my favourite ballad songs, that one. But yeah, I love that from 1997, and I would pick that up. I want to put that on now, to be quite honest. My tea's going cold. Oh, that's funny tasting tea. Oh, that's because it's coffee. That's it for 1997. And next video is going to be 98, 99, 2000. There's not a huge amount of CDs for that, so I should get through it quite quick. Cheers for watching, keep rocking, see you later. And did you notice I only said one F word in it, and I accidentally. It's just people watching, so I've got to calm down on the bleepers. Cheers.